All right, in this video, we're going to look at ways of representing the function algebraically and then working on those functions. So continuing with our box approach, let's say there is a function given by x plus 1, where x represents the input. If x is 1, then the output becomes x plus 1, which is 1 plus 1, 2. When x is 2, the output is 2 plus 1, which is 3. Now another way to write this is y equals f of x equals x plus 1. Basically, what you're going to read this is y, the output, is a function of x given by the expression x plus 1. And you read this as y equals f of x equals x plus 1. So the general rule to find the output is to replace x by the input. Okay. Now it's cumbersome to draw boxes all the time, so we need a concise notation. That concise notation can be seen as the output equals f of input, where f stands for function. So output is a function of input, or output depends on input. Again, we don't want to keep using the word output and input, so we say let's use the variable name x for input and the variable name y for output. Reason, well, it's arbitrary. It's universal that when we say x, we mean input, and when we say y, it means output. Another reason, if you want, is you could think of it as alphabetic order. Input comes before output, so x and then y. But why start at x? Really, no particular reason. It's more historical. Now that we have algebraic representation, we can look at what is called evaluating functions. So let's say you're given a function f of x equals x squared plus 1, and you're asked what is f of 0, f of negative 1, f of 2, or f of half. What this means is you're trying to find for each input values 0, negative 1, 2, 1 half, what is the output. And to do that, what you're going to do is you're just going to replace x by each of the input values. So that f of 0 becomes 0 squared plus 1, which is 1, because 0 squared is 0. F of negative 1 is negative 1 squared plus 1, which is 1 plus 1, giving you 2. Square of a negative number is positive. F of 2, 4 plus 1, 5. F of half is 1 half squared plus 1, which is 1 fourth plus 1, which, if you make a common denominator, you can rewrite 1 as 4 over 4, giving you 5 fourth. Now, let's say in the same question, what's f of lion? Now, unless otherwise specified, all you care about is you replace x by whatever the input is, even if it doesn't make sense. Here the input is lion, so f of lion is lion squared plus 1. Similarly, what's f of h, or f of 2a, or f of x minus h? Try that out, pause the video, work it out on your own. So again, the same idea, replace x by h. So h squared plus 1 is just h squared plus 1. Right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be a number. Sometimes it's just an expression. F of 2a becomes 2a whole squared plus 1. Now when you square 2a, you have to be careful that it is 2a times 2a. So the numbers 2 and 2 multiply to give you 4, and a multiply to give you a squared, and you get a plus 1. Similarly, f of x minus h would be x minus h whole squared plus 1, and you can leave it just at that point, right? So that's all about evaluating functions. In the next video, we will be looking at graphical representation of the functions.